Initially, I thought about opening up this home media review with an impression of John Goodman, but then I realized that I couldn't reach those levels of depth that John Goodman's voice can reach. I am not even in the same ballpark as that man's voice. So instead, I'm going to do an impression of something completely different. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Home Media Reviews. I'm your host, Van Earl Wright, along with my partner, Olympic gold medalist. I can't remember the name of this bit from Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. I just got Paramount Plus. I've been watching Ned's Declassified a lot recently, and that hello, everybody just really seems kind of iconic to me. I don't know why. It has nothing to do with this movie, though, but welcome back to Home Media Reviews, our season finale. I'm hyped up, if you can't tell. We're covering 10 Cloverfield Lane here tonight on Home Media Reviews. I am psyched to talk about this movie because, spoiler alert, I ended up really liking it. This Home Media Review was already pushed back a week, so let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into the history section of 10 Cloverfield Lane. So 10 Cloverfield Lane hit theaters on March 11th, 2016. This movie prided itself on being a pseudo-sequel to the film Cloverfield, which I haven't seen that film yet. I kind of want to, though, since I've watched this one and it was so good. I kind of want to see the original Cloverfield now. I did not see 10 Cloverfield Lane in theaters. I had no interest in it whatsoever. I didn't know that this wasn't a straight-up horror film. It's really more of a tense thriller with a little bit of some scary elements thrown in. A lot of my friends watched this movie in theaters, though, including some people who I no longer call friends. In fact, there was one specific person who, even to this very day, talks about 10 Cloverfield Lane being fantastic, and him and I have had our differences in the past, and we don't associate with one another anymore, and that's all I'll say on the matter. Nonetheless, though, I did not get to see this movie in theaters, which sucks because I feel like I would have loved this movie in theaters. This seems like a really great theatrical experience that I could have had back in 2016, but I was too busy, I guess, being hyped for Captain America Civil War and seeing Batman v Superman around this time and being disappointed. On June 14th, 2016, 10 Cloverfield Lane hit Blu-ray and DVD. Pretty standard release here by Paramount. There weren't ton of exclusives for this movie, though, and I noticed something else here while I was doing research for this. Each release for 10 Cloverfield Lane uses the same poster art. Even later reprints have the same poster art. It's never changed. I always found that interesting. There was one exclusive, though. It was a Best Buy exclusive steelbook, which I think has the best artwork out of this entire bunch. It's simple, it's haunting, and it makes you think about what this movie is really about. It would then be a little under a year until we saw 10 Cloverfield Lane back on store shelves. We got a 2-movie DVD collection set on June 7th, 2017, which included the original Cloverfield packaged with this movie. It's a franchise. You're going to see multiple sets with not all of the films included because there hadn't been a third Cloverfield movie at this point yet. So it's just bound to happen at some point. 10 Cloverfield Lane then got a 4K release on January 23rd, 2018. Pretty standard. A lot of films nowadays are getting 4K transfers put back out on the market to revitalize interest in them. So I'm happy that this got a 4K release. I personally own it in my collection, and it looks fantastic. Then a couple of weeks later, on February 6th, 2018, we got a Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane 2-movie collection on Blu-ray and also DVD. So you got another chance to pick up DVD if you didn't already have it from back in 2017 or 2016, or you could pick up the Blu-ray if you didn't already have that from 2016. I would say just get the 4K at that point if you don't already have Cloverfield, though. And finally, on February 5th, 2019, the Cloverfield 3-movie collection on DVD and Blu-ray hit store shelves. This finally included the final Cloverfield film, The Cloverfield Paradox, which was announced during the Super Bowl one year. That was a crazy marketing stunt. They literally played the trailer for the Cloverfield Paradox and then said that it would be available on Netflix immediately after the game was over. That was insane. Unfortunately, from the reports that I heard from people who actually watched the Cloverfield Paradox, it wasn't really that good. I don't know, I haven't seen it myself, but I will probably check it out now. But that's the end for 10 Cloverfield Lane in terms of history. Let's go ahead and move right along to the close-up section. Alrighty everyone, here we are for our close-up look at 10 Cloverfield Lane. We only have one copy to look at. It's the 4K Ultra HD plus Blu-ray plus digital combo pack. 4K Ultra HD up there at the top, all the things that it comes with, below it in the little silver bar. Really nice shot of John Goodman as well as Mary Elizabeth Winstead underground. There's the farmhouse up there on the top, and then 10 Cloverfield Lane down there on the bottom, and this nice little line that runs parallel to both of these actors here. Features HDR, high dynamic range. Really like this poster. It's very intriguing. It makes you wonder what this movie is actually about. The side, the Paramount logo. If my camera could focus, that would be nice. There we go, Paramount logo. 10 Cloverfield Lane. The grass also continues onto the side, so that's cool. 2-disc set, Ultra HD Blu-ray, and the regular Blu-ray disc logo. The back has some screenshots from the film as well as some quotes about it. Includes a commentary by director Dan Trachtenberg, I think is how you pronounce that, and producer J.J. Abrams. Blurb about the movie, some more screenshots, specs about the 4K film, and then Blu-ray feature film and special features, and it lists all your features there. Advert about digital HD and how it works, as well as what you will need to watch films in 4K, because these studios still think the American public is stupid and we don't know how to watch 4K, so you have to tell us how to do it. There's a bunch of legalese and tech specs and all that down there at the bottom. Take our slipcover off. Poster art underneath is the same. Spine is also the same. And the back is pretty much the same as well. It's just a little bit squished now because it doesn't take up the entire back because of this little black bar up there at the top. And if we open this up, our discs are fairly simplistic. We have 10 Cloverfield Lane on a Blu-ray disc with feature film and special features, and then the 4K is black with just feature film printed on it. As much as I like this poster, I wish that they would have used a different one. I think there was one that had like a mailbox on it that had the title of the film printed on the mailbox, and it looked creepier than this poster does. If I can find a photo of it, I'll put it here on the screen for you, but I would have liked to have seen some more creative poster art instead of just, hey, here are the two main actors in this movie and they're underground. But that wraps up the close-up. Let's move right along to the menu tour. Alrighty everyone, here we are for a menu tour of 10 Cloverfield Lane. Starting off with the regular Blu-ray. This menu is very basic. It's just got the farmhouse and this line thing, which is probably the tunnel that's leading down to the bunker and all that. So, for settings, surprisingly we have a Dolby Atmos track for the regular Blu-ray. That you don't usually see that on a regular Blu-ray. French 5.1 Dolby Digital Mix, also a Spanish 5.1 mix, Portuguese 5.1, English audio description, and a commentary by the director and producer J.J. Abrams. He's not the director, it's that Dan guy, but I don't want to pronounce his last name. For subtitles, we have English, SDH, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. For scenes, they all have specific numbers with a little screenshot telling you what part of the film you're at, and 16 scenes, 15 if you don't count the credits. Pretty standard. This is, what, an hour, 40-minute movie? And then for extras, all we have is the commentary, and then also a little sub-menu for featurettes. We have Cloverfield 2, Bunker Mentality, Doc and Cover, File Tuned, Kelvin, Optical Spin-Off, and End of Story. Alright, Blu-ray menu was pretty fast. Let's take a look at the 4K menu now. Pretty much the exact same as the Blu-ray, except we don't have any featurettes. Wow, a lot of settings here. We have a lot more audio mixes and subtitles. The Dolby Atmos is back, the French is back, Spanish is back, Portuguese is back, but our new ones include Deutsch and Japanese. English audio description is back, and so is the commentary. Subtitles, pretty much all these on the top are back, but then we also have Deutsch, Japanese, Svenska, Norsk, Suomi, Danks, and the Netherlands. So, a lot more subtitles and audio options, so more people can watch this movie and enjoy it. And we have the same number of scenes as on the Blu-ray, 16 or 15 if you don't count the credits. This menu tour was pretty quick. It's literally just a bare bones menu to try to get you to the film as quick as possible. I like that. Would have liked to have seen some more artwork though. Maybe the same artwork that's here on the poster with John Goodman and Mary Elizabeth Winstead here. Like in this negative space right here where there's literally nothing. So that wraps things up with the menu tour. Let's head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. Alright, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? 10 Cloverfield Lane is actually still available on some store shelves. I haven't seen it recently though. I think the last time I saw this movie on shelves was probably last year at Best Buy. But it is available in plentiful copies at used DVD and Blu-ray stores and pawn shops and stuff like that. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? Unfortunately, it is not. It has been over 2 years now since the last print of this was issued out. So no, can't say yes to this. And I'm trying to find out here if 10 Cloverfield Lane is actually available on Paramount Plus. The search feature on Paramount Plus, at least as far as I know, has not really been reliable, at least for me. So I'm scrolling through their list of films here. And it is not. Neither the original Cloverfield or 10 Cloverfield Lane is available on Paramount Plus. Let's check and see if it's available on Netflix, though. It's not available on Netflix. Cloverfield Paradox is still on Netflix, though, so if you want to watch that, you can. From my quick Google search here, it's not available on any streaming service, actually, which is surprising, considering Paramount owns this movie. I don't know why they wouldn't put that on their streaming service, but you can watch it for free on Pluto TV if you have that garbage streaming platform. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Absolutely 100 times yes. Of course I recommend 10 Cloverfield Lane. You've heard me talk about previously in this home media review just how much I enjoyed this movie. It was such a suspenseful watch. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever have an experience with a movie like this again. It was a dark night. I was by myself. Hope was doing something else. She was like out with her friends or something. So I had the night to myself. I sat down on my bed, popped this movie into my Xbox, and whoo boy, I was not prepared for this ride, honestly. The main gist of 10 Cloverfield Lane is this woman, played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, is hit by a car while she is driving somewhere. I can't remember exactly where she's driving to. I think she's driving home, perhaps. She gets a call from her boyfriend. Funny enough, voiced by Bradley Cooper, so that was cool. Cool little cameo there. But while she's on the phone, she gets hit head-on by who we come to find out is John Goodman. Goodman then pretty much kidnaps this woman, takes her to his underground bunker, keeps her chained up to the wall, and keeps her prisoner, and says, "There's an apocalypse outside. You can't go up there. The air is completely just whacked out, man." Whacked out, man. There's a better way for me to describe that. The air is poisoned, is what he basically tells her. And you're left wondering, is John Goodman crazy, or is this really happening? Is there really an apocalypse that's going on up on the surface there? The movie does a great job at keeping that a secret and keeping you guessing throughout the entire thing. And to be courteous to you all, I am going to go ahead and say that I'm not going to spoil the ending of this movie until the end of this review section. So if you have not seen 10 Cloverfield Lane, please go out and see it, because it's amazing. Trust me, you're going to love it. It is awesome. You need to go out and watch it right now. but please don't listen to my review from here on. Just know that I really liked it, and you are going to be surprised when the ending comes. So please don't listen to the rest of this review. Skip forward towards like the last 5 minutes or so of this video. So please don't listen to me spoil the ending, because I want you to have the same experience that I had. I can't believe that I didn't have the ending for this movie spoiled for me prior to actually watching it. So to begin, Mary Elizabeth Winstead gives a fantastic performance as the scared girl. I think her name is Michelle, if I recall correctly. She gives a great performance. I felt for her. I immediately connected with her when she woke up as a prisoner. I was like, damn, this is not good. I was already wondering, so is this gonna be like an actual apocalypse, or is John Goodman just an insane person keeping this woman prisoner? I didn't know he had another person down there with her, this dude by the name of Emmett, who is apparently John Goodman's like assistant. He helped him build this underground bunker, and John wasn't going to let Emmett go down with him. That didn't make a lot of sense to me for Howard's character. John's name is Howard, so I guess I should call him Howard, as I'm calling these people their actual character names. So Howard wasn't gonna let Emmett down into the bunker with him when the apocalypse came. That's kind of crappy. So that's when I kind of thought that maybe Howard is a crazy person. But then you see later on, when Michelle tries to break out of the bunker, this woman drives up to the bunker entrance and is pleading for Michelle to let her in, and she's dying of some kind of poison. Her skin is rotting off, and she falls over, and she's dead within like 5 minutes of actually getting there. So I'm like, crap, man, maybe there is actually a poison out there. I don't know what's going on. I'm left guessing throughout the entire thing. And that's part of what makes this movie so great, is it's able to keep you guessing throughout the entire thing. It's able to keep you on your toes throughout the entire movie to where you never get bored. It reminds me a lot of the movie Buried with Ryan Reynolds, where he's buried alive and you slowly learn throughout the course of what Ryan Reynolds' life was like when he was above ground, what his family situation is, why he's buried even. It's the same situation here with 10 Cloverfield Lane. It continuously builds upon the previous scenes, dropping little nuggets of information to keep us as the audience invested. But that's not the only thing that keeps me invested. The characters and the performances keep me invested as well. Mary Elizabeth Winstead is all, as I said, is amazing as her character. She's great. She's sympathetic. I root for her throughout this entire thing. But Howard, man, John Goodman plays an amazing crazy person. It's that kind of performance where you think, man, he could actually be like talking some sense. He seems like the kind of guy who I would want to sit down and have a beer with. And then he threatens Emmett's life because he makes a joke at the table while they're having dinner. Man, he can shift his performance on a dime. He is amazing in this film. He has so many acting chops in this movie that is out on display here. I love John Goodman in this movie. I don't think I've ever heard of John Gallagher Jr., the guy who plays Emmett. I feel like I've seen him in something else, though. Doing a quick little Google search here on John Gallagher Jr. He was in Jonah Hex. Oh god, I've seen that. I don't remember him in it, though. Apparently he was also in the movie Peppermint from 2018 starring Jennifer Garner. I also watched that pile of dog trash, and he was apparently in that, too. So John Gallagher Jr. doesn't have a great reputation in my mind, but I'm happy to say here he gives a great performance. I love Emmett in this movie, and it killed me to watch Howard shoot him in the head. It just absolutely killed me. I was like, no, man, Emmett was like my favorite character throughout this entire thing. He speaks out once, and boom, dead. And it just, it hurt, man. And then he throws him in the acid. I'm like, why are you doing this, Howard? You're killing me, man. You're really not letting me stay on your side here. And as far as performances go, these three are the only ones in the movie that you really get to know. These are the only three humans that you really get to have a connection with. Like I said, there's Bradley Cooper, who plays the boyfriend, but he's only heard through voice. He only gets one scene to shine. And then you have this woman who dies within 5 minutes of being introduced. I don't even catch what her name is. There's some voices on the radio. These three humans are really what carry this entire movie, and I love them in this. They do a great job at carrying this story and keeping me invested throughout the entire thing. And I love this set. This bunker feels claustrophobic. It feels like, man, I wouldn't want to spend a couple years down here because it feels really small and like I'm being watched all the time. And it's got great tension build up because of that. And man, at the end, when Michelle gets her revenge on Howard for killing Emmett, she dumps the acid down, she shoots him, and he falls into the acid, and he starts screaming. I was like, man, I shouldn't feel bad for Howard, but that's such a painful way to die. But then I'm also like, yeah, Michelle, he killed your friend, and probably your lover. There might have been a subplot there that I don't remember, but definitely put his face into the acid. He deserves that. But then, oh my gosh, when she gets to the surface and she rips her suit that she made out of that raft, or it wasn't a raft, it was the shower curtain. She made the suit out of the shower curtain. She rips it and she's freaking out, and I'm sitting there biting my tongue like, if this really isn't Apocalypse, she's dead, and I don't want her to die. She was pretty good. And then she's fine, and then it turns out that there actually is an Apocalypse, and there's actually aliens. This goes against my entire theory that Howard was a crazy person. That's what I thought, at least. I didn't even buy when the woman died, when she was at the top of the bunker. I thought, like, I don't know, she had like skin cancer or something. Some stupid rationale in my mind where I was thinking, no. Definitely Howard's crazy. Definitely Howard is 100% crazy. Turns out Howard is crazy and also right, because there are aliens. There are literally aliens that have invaded Earth and are sending out this gas that kills humans, I guess. I don't know why the aliens are here, but it was pretty cool to see. Their ship had a really unique design to it as well. It had kind of like an Alien vibe to it, like the movie Alien from the 70s. It really had that kind of vibe to it, mixed with a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy thrown in there. And boy, does this movie end on such a great cliffhanger. When Michelle drives off in her car, she hears the radio voice telling her that, yeah, absolutely, there's an apocalypse, the aliens are here, there are a few survivors, get to a survival camp if you can. I was like, man, I want a sequel to this. I want to find out what happens with Michelle and how she fights these aliens. I want, like, Aliens, like James Cameron's Aliens, where Michelle is the Ripley. She goes off and fights these aliens and restores peace to the planet Earth. That's what I want. And I think the monster in the first Cloverfield movie, I think that was an alien too. I do plan on watching that, though, and finding out if it actually was an alien, but I think it was an alien, from what I remember hearing from my friends who have seen it. If you can't tell, I don't have any negatives with 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think this movie is an absolute masterpiece. It is an amazing piece of suspenseful cinema and a great thriller that anybody should watch. I absolutely recommend that you see 10 Cloverfield Lane. This has about as much suspense as a movie like Buried or a movie like Jaws. Yes, I am comparing 10 Cloverfield Lane to one of the greatest films ever made in terms of suspense and tension, because it has great suspense and great tension throughout. See 10 Cloverfield Lane if you haven't. And if you have, watch it again. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? Well, I got the 4K on Black Friday for like $7. I think it's worth around 10 to 15. That'd be a good price. As I said previously, the 4K transfer is absolutely immaculate. It looks great, so I would recommend going after that one more than any of the other ones. But the regular Blu-ray, I'd say, is around 5 to 10, and then the DVD, don't even bother with that. The 3-film collection, though, I think that might be your best value if you want all 3 of these films in one conclusive set. I'd say that's worth around $15 to $20. So, folks, that wraps up the home media review for 10 Cloverfield Lane. Thank you to whoever suggested that I cover this movie, and congratulations once again that your movie got picked. I can't remember who you are. This is unprofessional of me, but you know who you are, and thank you, because you have just given me one of my new favorite films. This will definitely be watched every year around Halloween time. Thank you, sir. And folks, that brings Home Media Review Season 3 to a close. I know what some of you are thinking. I got a comment about this a couple of weeks ago. Hey, you forgot an episode. Unfortunately, no, I didn't forget an episode. Season 3 of Home Media Reviews only has 12 episodes. And I'm going to tell you why. This season's production schedule has been unbelievably hectic. For starters, it begins with the revival season of Thomas & Friends Home Media Reviews. We did that earlier on in this year, and I had that series done for a while, so I didn't have to work on YouTube for a while. Then when we get to a couple of weeks where I just have some supplementals, like 3 or 4 of them, and I haven't got a single episode of Home Media Reviews finished. I haven't even started watching the movies for them yet. I was like, well, shoot. I'm very behind schedule because I was very lazy. I probably should start banking these sooner rather than later. But it all basically comes down to me being lazy and, unfortunately, reverting back to my old ways of working episode to episode. This season was produced week by week. It wasn't me getting 6 or 7 episodes done and then in one batch and then recording the other ones later. No, it was literally, I just put out the HMR on Avengers Infinity War. Now I start work on the home media review for Kick-Ass. Like every week it was like this, and I just couldn't get my head out of that space of, well, I can work week to week, it's fine. No, it's not fine. I remembered very quickly why I stopped doing that. It is a pain in the ass to do this week to week. I really don't like that system, and I hate that my brain basically would not let me get out of it, because I thought, hey, being lazy, that's okay. Your fans will understand. And because of that mentality, I had to cut a movie out of season 3. I had 13 movies planned. I had 13 episodes ready and waiting to be done. But because of how many times I had to push stuff or work week to week and I didn't have stuff ready on time, I had to cut an episode. And that sucks not only for you guys because you get less content, but it also sucks for me personally because I kind of failed in this production season. There was a lot of stuff that could have been avoided if I had not worked week to week. Like there was a point in time where my mom, dad, and brother all caught the coronavirus, and I had to move out of my house to keep myself safe because I don't want to get that thing. So I had to move out of my house, and I lived in Hope's basement for about 2 weeks because I didn't want to catch this nasty virus. Great news, though. My entire family is fine, and I'm fine. Hope is fine. Her mom is fine. Everyone's fine. We are all fine. They recovered totally perfectly, and I've been back in my house since then. But there were some home reviews that were recorded in Hope's basement. I had to bring my tripod and my microphone, set it up in Hope's basement, wait till she went to bed, and had to be a little quieter in my commentary. But some of those were recorded in Hope's basement. The read-through of the Thomasaurus Rex book, that was filmed in Hope's basement. That was one of her couches that I used as a backdrop. So that put my schedule behind a lot because I didn't have a lot of my stuff. I didn't have a lot of my equipment. I didn't even have some of the Blu-rays. Accidentally, I left them at home, like some stuff that I needed to film menu tours for. I left the Blu-rays at home and couldn't go back and get them. So that pushed my production schedule back a lot. And then Hope's grandmother had a seizure a couple of weeks ago, at the start of September, I think, and I had to push my production back because of that. I had to spend a night at the hospital with her and her family, and I wasn't able to work on that home media review. And then the reason why this review was pushed back was Hope's great-grandmother recently passed away. She was in her very early 90s, so she lived a full life. And her funeral was this last week, and her visitation, and I was there for that, and I didn't have time to work on that, especially because of my schoolwork, which has also been getting very intense these last couple of weeks. So you guys can see why working week to week doesn't work for me, because I have a lot of stuff going on in my life, apparently, and it all decided to happen when Home Media Review Season 3 was airing. I swear I felt like I was cursed for a couple of months there. But I'm here to tell you, with full 100% confidence, I am not letting myself fall back into that trap of working week to week with Season 4 next year. Yes, there is going to be a Season 4. I'm not canceling the show because I don't like the workload. I mean, I don't like the workload, but it's fun to get these videos done and actually out for you guys to enjoy. But I'm not canceling this show just because I got lazy for a season. No, absolutely not. I'm not letting myself fall back into that trap next season. And we will return to the normal number of episodes for Season 4, 13. I'm sticking to that number because of Netflix and their shows get 13 episodes and whatnot. And there will be a mini-series, obviously. There's going to be a mini-series this year, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But as hectic as it was to get this season done, I am so happy that all of you guys have been enjoying Season 3 of Home Media Reviews. I'm happy that you all have been liking some of the film choices that I have made for this season. And I'm glad that you guys really liked the viewer's choice. I'm thinking for a later season, not Season 4, but maybe a couple of seasons down the line, maybe letting you guys pick the entire season. I don't know. I'm toying with that idea. That would honestly be pretty cool, to let all of you guys pick a season of Home Media Reviews, pick all the films for it. That'd be pretty cool, actually. Season 4, though, I'm toying with a theme. I haven't really nailed one down yet. Animation, I saw that one pop up in the comments a lot. A lot of people want me to talk about animated movies next season. That would be fun. I saw someone say that I covered a lot of Marvel movies, that I should cover other comic book films like DC and maybe Dark Horse and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm open to it. I'm pretty much open to anything at this point. So if you all have another theme that you would like me to cover in Season 4, leave it down in the comments and I will give it a consideration. I mentioned earlier that there will be a mini-series this year. It's only 3 episodes long, unfortunately, because I couldn't fit larger miniseries into the end of the year. Tradition would have it, the next couple of weeks are going to be filled with supplementals. Most of them are going to be on Star Wars products because, holy crap, I have really ramped up my Star Wars home video collecting within the last couple of months. A lot of things, like stuff like supplementals on the 4K trilogy, some Force Awakens exclusives. I got a hell of a lot of those. The Despecialized trilogy is coming to Home Media Reviews. All kinds of great stuff coming to the channel at the end of this year. So I can't really think of anything else I really want to say here other than just thank you. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this entire season. Thank you for understanding when I've had to push back videos like this very season finale. I had to push that back a week because of the funeral and all that. So I appreciate all of you being so understanding and not rude to me about me pushing back stuff. I mean, I have a real life outside of YouTube. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes on in my life. You guys know about a lot of it because of the vlogs and such and the live streams. So you know that I'm never being deliberately lazy. Usually there's always something that I'm either writing or working on or something like that. So I thank you guys for being so understanding and so appreciative of me and my content. I thank you all for watching this last season. Thank you all for watching this series as a whole. I never thought we'd be at a season 4 already now, and we're past 50 episodes. I mean, I didn't think this would make it past season 1. Honestly, I thought this would be a very underperforming series, but honestly, it has exceeded my expectations with how much and how far this series has gone and how much it's grown. Thank you guys so very much. I literally could not do this without you guys, but I especially couldn't do it without the blessing of the Lord my God. There is no way that I could have even started this YouTube channel without the blessing of my Lord. So, God, thank you for allowing me to do this, and thank you for all these beautiful people that come to my channel and watch my content, especially when I get to preach about you. It's the best kind of content that I get to make, God. Thank you. And once again, thank you guys. There's literally an infinite number of times that I could say thank you, and it still wouldn't be enough. So, with all that being said, that is it for me. That is it for Home Media Reviews Season 3. Next week is a supplemental on a Rogue One copy that I recently picked up from a half-price books. I hope you all are excited for that. It's my second copy of Rogue One. That was the only Star Wars movie that I didn't have 2 copies of, and I fixed that. Thank you all so very much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I would hug you all if I could. Y'all are just amazing. I love you guys. Stay safe out there. Good night, everybody.